So right as I sat down to record this video for our full moon in Gemini, Elon Musk tweeted that they're releasing information regarding Twitter's suspension of the Hunter Biden laptop story. And that is so in alignment with the themes of this full moon energy. It's crazy. I'm looking forward to finding out what that is. I actually do see from the energy reading, which I'm about to share with you, that the information we're receiving around this time isn't 100% true. It's been undigested truths. So I'm interested to see how this story plays out. So astrologers are telling us that this full moon is an irritating one. It's a time of conflict and frustration. And that might be the case for the unaware ones, for the ones who have not taken the time to check in with themselves, to check in with the cosmos, and to figure out how to play with this energy, which is what we're going to be doing, and staying really curious about this full moon in Gemini energy. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra, back in my recording space, which is so nice. I love it here. If you're new to my channel, on this channel, we talk about law of attraction, spirituality, personal development, and a couple times a month, when I can, I like to share energy readings where I check in with the collective unconscious, collective consciousness, astrological and cosmological events, along with pulling some oracle cards and just feeling into the energy to see what's coming up for us around the full moon and the new moon. And right now we have this full moon in Gemini. We're in Sagittarius season, and this full moon is going to be around 8 p.m. on Pacific time, and it's going to be on the 8th for some people around the rest of the world. The really big thing that I want to convey with this full moon is that what we want to do is to, rather than letting our anger kind of take over us and make us somebody that we're not and speak for us, what we want to do is to speak beauty into our lives, speak love into our lives, to keep ourselves strong and healthy, and to create with our words rather than destroy. This is a full moon that's very specific to speaking, to words, and we'll talk about why that is. Before we get started, I just want to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the channel. Please turn your notifications on. I have a goal to get a lot of you notified every time I post, so you never miss an energy reading. And to like this video if you like me, or wait until the end and then decide if you like me, and that's okay too. And to leave a comment. I also want to ask if you would subscribe to my free email newsletter. When you do, you get my signature heart chakra opening meditation for free. You can download it. You can unsubscribe after, whatever you want. But then you get emails from me with stories, resources, and a lot of cool things. I have a book list that I send to you. It's like dozens and dozens of books, all linked. So if you want that, just sign up. It's completely free. It's in the description below. Now let's get into the video. So we do have a bit of a chaotic and overwhelming energy coming up with this fast-paced Gemini full moon, but I honestly don't see it as negative at all. I do see it as a little bit convoluted, and there's a lot of different kind of forces playing. We're going to talk about a lot of them and just understand that the way that this cosmic masterpiece works is there's going to be a paintbrush of, a stroke of this and a stroke of this and a stroke of this. And all together it makes this beautiful, beautiful masterpiece, this painting that is the human experience. And it's not always going to be neat. The colors aren't always going to be, neutral and pastel and calming. Sometimes it's going to be crazy. But it's always going to be beautiful, and it's always going to be worth it. So take that how you will. I see this full moon as an opportunity, and I think you will too once this reading is over. And towards the end, I will offer you some journaling prompts to deepen your reflections around the full moon like I usually do. So we know that full moons are a time of things coming to completion, of endings, of things coming into wholeness. And as the light shines on earth, so does it shine on the truth, right? Especially during Sagittarius season, which is all about truthfulness, with a Gemini full moon, which is all about kind of discovering and researching and exploring and getting to the truth, getting to the information. Like I said, the full moon will be around 8 p.m. Pacific on the 7th, and it'll be in the early morning for the rest of the world. But we will be feeling the energy a couple of days before and a few days after. It's going to be an intense full moon because we do have this fiery Mars energy in the mix. It's not going to be anything as crazy as the past eclipse moons we've had recently, so don't worry. We can get through this. The biggest theme that I'm picking up on here is really just all about what's coming out of our mouths right now. It's a very communicative, expressive time. And as long as we're aware of what we're saying, we're gonna be just fine. So your words are magic all the time, but right now during this full moon, you're really going to have to make a decision about whether you're going to use your words to build your life or to destroy things in your life. In some ways, you know, like we have, I think it's Shiva, the destroyer in Hinduism, and sometimes things do need to be destroyed, right? It's not always rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes we need to burn bridges, burn things down. But if that's what you're feeling called to right now, I just want to remind you that this full moon energy, it's similar to one that we've had recently. There's no going back. So the things that you say and the things that you end, it's going to be really hard to repair if you burn it down. So it's up to you. You have to make this decision. And sometimes for some people, it's time to destroy something in their lives, maybe even an older version of themselves, which is kind of a dramatic way of self-improvement, but you do you, babe. I think that the majority of us do want to build brighter futures and happier lives. So we can use this throat chakra energy right now to speak our inner world, our inner beauty into outer manifestation. We have Gemini energy, right? And Gemini is the teacher, it's the storyteller, the passer of information. So I'm feeling that we can expect to receive some information around this full moon. Funnily enough, it could be on the broad spectrum, like this stuff happening on Twitter, or it could be on a very personal level, getting some information that's going to bring some clarity on something that we've been curious about, something that we've been trying to figure out. If there's a missing link or some sort of blank in the story, you're going to get that information now, and then you'll be able to see the whole picture. However, it's important to note that the information might not be 100% accurate. While it will shed light on things that we did not see before, it might have some holes to it. Don't take things at face value. In fact, whatever you hear during this time, take it with a grain of salt. And most importantly, like I tell you in most full moon readings, don't be reactionary. Don't just react without thinking to things. Most people tend to be super reactionary as tensions heighten during the full moon. It's going to be really beneficial for you to kind of hide your cards and take a second to let the heightened energy begin to wane before you act on anything. This is going to be really good for you. Let it marinate. And also do your own investigations, right? You're encouraged to do that. You're supported in being the researcher as well. Gemini is also the talker, and it rules over the throat chakra. And because the full moon is conjunct Mars retrograde in Gemini, this can cause conversations to be very combative, very argumentative. Conflicts can arise and mean words can be thrown around. If this is happening to you from people in your lives, try to have some grace and some understanding and compassion that a lot of people just have no way of filtering themselves and of knowing how to keep their emotions in check. And if that happens to you, if that person is aware enough, once the moon begins to wane, they'll realize that they acted harshly and you'll receive an apology. When it comes to yourself, however, you know better than this. You know when these emotions arise that there are healthier ways of expressing yourself, and you should do that in creative and spiritual ways. So don't send that mean text. Write it out by hand instead as a letter. Burn it in a fire. Let out your anger that way. Or send it to McDonald's instead. Let somebody at corporations over there read it. Might ruin their day, but at least you're not burning bridges. What I'm trying to say is don't say things right now that you can't take back, because it's going to really hurt people. And no matter how much your ego will want to hurt in that moment, once you have consciousness, awareness, mindfulness, and clarity again, you'll see that that's not what you wanted at all. So take a deep breath and channel that anger into something healthier. For example, howl at the moon, go outside. I highly recommend that. I will be howling. Maybe, just maybe, pretend you're an ape and beat on your chest. Don't do this in public. And if you do, don't send them to my channel. I didn't give you that recommendation. It wasn't me. Just don't send that text, okay? What is said now can't be taken back. And like I said in my new moon November reading, I am feeling still, and of course that makes sense, the time of year that it is in the Northern Hemispheres, to take care of your health and your immune system right now, but especially the lungs. I mentioned in the last new moon reading to take care of your immunity and your health, and to take cordyceps mushrooms. I started taking them in supplement form. I was developing some sort of, I don't know what it was. My boyfriend got really, really sick, and then we started taking care of his lungs with herbs, and he got better pretty soon after. I was starting to get it, but basically I had a cough for a couple of days that was really, really bad. I started taking cordyceps and other herbs. I think I was taking holy basil or tulsi, and the cough subsided in a couple of days. So take care of your lungs. Gemini does have to do with the lungs. Cordyceps mushrooms is a Jupiterian mushroom, but it's also it also falls under Gemini. It's the perfect supplement to add into your diet right now. I don't even know what brand I take. If I find it, I'll link it down below for you, okay? Did anybody else deal with some health issues since the last new moon? I know something's been going around, definitely for my loved ones. I think it's very important to deal with to help our immune system right now. And in fact, I will get a list of all the things I'm taking to keep my immune system strong, and I'll link it down below for you. So the themes that I picked up on during this full moon on December 7th is truthfulness is coming out that's going to lead us to make a decision. So through stories or through new information being revealed and exposed, we'll get the whole picture, right? We'll get some clarity. But the information might not be 100% accurate, so don't react. Wait for things to quiet down, for the full moon to wane, and see as the pieces fall what remains. What's the truth there? The second thing is speak things into existence. Use your throat chakra, use the Gemini energy right now to build. Speak healing and beautiful words all day long in your conversations, in your mental conversations. Build with your words, create, and refrain from any lower vibrational mean comments. Number 3 is to be curious, seek knowledge, and to look for the bigger picture. I've been mentioning this, especially for Sagittarius season. It's okay to want more right now. It's okay to ask for more. Have conversations with God and ask for whatever you want, as big as it is. You're allowed to ask for that. Don't feel bad about it. But also remain curious about everything that's happening. Consider maybe learning something new right now around this full moon. For example, I'm being initiated into Kriya Yoga a day after the full moon. So I'm really excited about that. Learning something new, learning and understanding something new. That's going to be really fulfilling and satisfying to your inner child. Also being curious about what arises, what information comes up, rather than being reactionary. Just remaining really curious, like a child. That's going to bring you into a more optimal state of mind. It's going to bring you to a higher frequency, and things will all play out much more gracefully. The last theme is to take on new projects or learn something new, right? So it's a really positive and supportive time for starting new projects, especially smaller ones right now. Towards the end of the month, bigger projects are going to be really, really supported. So starting new things is good right now. You got this. Now let me share some journal prompts. The first one, and I'll write these down below for you in the description. Number 1, what do I need to communicate and to whom right now? Number 2, what message am I receiving? And just let this answer come to you intuitively. Just let your words flow out of you, kind of like you're channeling the answer. Number 3, how can I speak from my heart rather than from my pain? Number 4, what am I curious about in life right now? And how can I explore it more? And number 5, in what area of my life am I looking for more clarity right now? Hey, that's it from me today. I'm so happy I was able to make it in time for this full moon reading. Just want to remind you to please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications. If you made it to the end and you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. Please share it with your friends and your family who you want them to have a good full moon and not fall into unconsciousness. And if you're not already on my email list, the link is down below. Please subscribe. I send you really cute little loving notes there, and I call you my cherry blossom and my love and my angel. I also see your responses. I love you so much. Thanks for spending time with me here today. Take care of your health. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay curious. Until next time, keep your vibrations way up. Bye.